solar system's a pretty big place. Not only do we have the sun, where the most of the mass is at, but we have 8 identified planets. We got the 4 inner planets, and we've got the 4 outer planets. But there's a lot of other stuff that's going on. What about all this other stuff in the system? We know that there's rocks orbiting the sun in their own orbits. Most of these are categorized in astronomy as existing in the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars. So most of these objects are going to be out here in the asteroid belt. Some asteroids are going to be, kind of following Jupiter a little bit, possibly being pushed by Jupiter's gravity in the front. Those are our shepherding asteroids. There's lots and lots of dust and stuff within the entire solar system, and there's even lots of bodies out just right outside of the solar system, past the orbit of Neptune, in the Kuiper Belt, and an Oort cloud. Now, so there's a lot more going on than just the sun and planets. Now, thinking of the term asteroids, all an asteroid is a big clump of rock. So an asteroid is a big, huge clump of rock that's hanging out in space. And they can be all different sizes, all different shapes, and they're really only going to be classified as an asteroid if we're talking about objects that are inside the orbit of Jupiter. So here's Jupiter, the great red spot, and so anything past Jupiter going out in solar system is going to be classified as something else. So an asteroid is a general term. It's not a very specific term. It's not a recognized term. But it's really easy for us to just use and say it's an asteroid, it's a big rock in space. Asteroids is such a general term that if I were to have the group asteroids, within that group would be all of our meteors. All of our meteors would be in the asteroid group. And some of our dwarf planets. So we have some dwarf planets that would be considered asteroids. So we got dwarf planets. That are considered asteroids, and anything else that's within around the orbit of Jupiter that might have been classified as other things. So we have some other stuff like various gas, dust, just stuff floating in space. Space is mainly empty, but when we do find matter in space, that matter tends to clump together and make objects. Now, meteoroids are not a technical term, but they are still in use for the term meteoroids. Now think about our asteroids. Our asteroids are these big lumps of rock. Sometimes kilometers and miles across, sometimes only a couple 100 feet across. But what happens if a small piece of some asteroid breaks off, and now we have this tiny dot, pebble in the sky, something, maybe a meteor across, maybe there's something the size of a human being, and this is what we would call a meteoroid. This itty bitty tiny bit of rock. Meteoroids are kind of like the junk left over from planetesimals in the early solar system. They're from collisions. They're just pieces that fly all over the place. And a lot of the times these meteoroids are going to travel in clusters from when a asteroid got blown apart, and this is how we get our meteor showers, is these small, tiny objects in the sky that we really can't classify and name, but they still smash into the Earth's atmosphere, and we can see them, and that's how we mainly interact with meteoroids, because they're little bits and pieces of flotsam floating around in our solar system. Here's a nice, decent picture of a meteoroid hitting our atmosphere. So as it's a meteoroid, as it hits the atmosphere, and then as it hits the atmosphere, it stops being a meteoroid, and it starts to be a meteor. And that's why we have meteor showers. They're seasonal, and what the Earth is doing is the Earth, not usually you see an Earth with a red outline, but we're going to stick with it. The Earth is moving through these clumps of meteoroid debris that is hanging out in space. So that's where we get meteoroids. Meteoroids are these small objects that interact with our atmosphere. We see them as meteors, and then we see meteor showers as they smash into our atmosphere. Now, we don't want to confuse meteors with their cousins, comets. Whenever we see a meteor, so those are not comets. Whenever we see a meteor, they are moving through our atmosphere very, very fast, and they go, and then they burn up. They either burn up, sometimes if you get a larger meteoroid, it'll strike the ground, and then it becomes a meteorite, you know, all these words tied together and everything. But don't confuse a meteor or a meteoroid with a comet, because the meteor is going to travel through our atmosphere very quickly. Whereas comets are not traveling through our atmosphere. A comet is hanging out in space, and they're far away. And the tail from these comets, the tail that's coming out from some body right here, is not because it's burning up in some atmosphere like Earth. That tail is caused by heat from the sun and the solar wind. And the reason that they form those tails is that if we draw the solar system, we got a sun, we're going to put Neptune way out here. Neptune has a little solar storm going on it. We don't know why. There's not enough energy out there, but it does anyway. And outside of Neptune are objects that come into contact with each other, and then as these objects come in towards the sun and form a giant loop orbiting the sun. Now what happens is those objects are going to cross that frost line. They cross the frost line and they start to melt. And this is where they really become a comet. Because the heat from the sun and the solar wind is going to push on the material that is melting on this comet, so it forms a tail. And the tail gets longer the closer that comet is to the sun. Common misconception is that the tail of a comet is pointing behind the comet like it's a rocket ship. Comets aren't rocket ships. We don't have a rocket ship comet. That's a rocket. No. Comets don't do that. Comets don't do that. They form a tail because of the energy coming off the sun that forms their tail. And once those comets travel back past that frost line, they'll re-solidify out here past the orbit of Neptune. they'll start to solidify somewhere in here, and they become kind of a solid rock in this area out here. So it's only a comet because you have some sort of object that travels past the orbit of Neptune down into the inner solar system area, begins to melt, forms a tail because of the heat from the sun. Dwarf planets. Now, dwarf planets, we've said dwarf planets can be in the group that we consider an asteroid, and they can also be in a group called trans-Neptunian objects and Neptunian objects, etc. So there's other terms going on here that are more technical, but in general, you should know that a dwarf planet it satisfies at least two of the rules for being a planet. It's going around the sun, and it's round because gravity has pulled in and made it round. But it hasn't cleared its orbit. This is the dwarf planet series. Why so serious? Series? 'Cause I'm not a planet. So the dwarf planet series exists in our asteroid belt. The dwarf planet series is pretty cool because it contains 1/3 of all of the mass for the entire asteroid belt, yet Ceres is much smaller than our moon. Now, that would be a dwarf planet that would be inside that line we drew for ourselves earlier, where anything past Jupiter we really aren't going to call that asteroids. But dwarf planets can also exist outside of that zone. This is the dwarf planet Pluto. This is the best image we really have of Pluto. It doesn't really look like much. We will learn far more about Pluto and Ceres in 2015. There's 2 missions that are going out in that direction. They're separate missions. We've got the Dawn spacecraft that's going to come up to Ceres in 2015 and say, yo, and we're going to get some fantastic pictures of this dwarf planet. We've also got the New Horizons probe in 2015 that's going to swing by Pluto, and that's going to take a picture of Pluto and Pluto's moon, Charon. And we recently found that Pluto has other objects floating around it that would be considered moons of a dwarf planet. So thinking about general ways of classifying things in the sky, it's all going to originate with the sun. And in this lecture, what we're talking about is we have two classifications. One involves our friend Jupiter. The other involves our friend Neptune, both of whom have storms on them. We don't really know why Neptune's got a storm on it, but it does. It's just really far away from the sun to have that kind of storm. Now, the frost line, because Jupiter's kind of moved since it's formed, is just past Jupiter. So thinking of this, when we have objects that are large, they tend to hang out in the asteroid belt. So we have these larger asteroid belt objects, and they have to be an asteroid. We would only refer to them as an asteroid if they're inside of this line of Jupiter's orbit. Don't confuse that with the frost line. That yellow line is referring to the orbit of Jupiter. And then when small objects, we really only see them here on Earth. When they cram into our atmosphere, any itty-bitty tiny objects hanging out in the solar system that we really can't classify or name, those are our meteoroids. And dwarf planets can exist just about anywhere. We've got Ceres in the asteroid belt containing 1/3 of the mass of all of the asteroid belt. And then way out here past Neptune, we have Pluto. Pluto's out here like, oh, why am I not a planet anymore? It's because we found all of your sisters and brothers that are hanging out past Neptune too. we call those guys our dwarf planets. And sometimes those trans-Neptunian objects, those objects pass out Neptune, they will get dislodged and they're going to come in towards the inner solar system. And when they do, they make this nice long orbit around the sun, coming way back out past Neptune at the end. They form tails going away from the sun, and they only start forming their tails when, oh yeah, right after they've crossed this frost line. And when they're past the frost line, they don't got any tails because they're all frozen balls of snot. And who are we talking about? We're talking about comets.
There are 8 major planets. Mercury, which is closest to the Sun and very barren. Venus, with her thick atmosphere and furious volcanoes. Earth, the only known planet to host life. And Mars, the red planet, a neighbor that has had a lot of human-made visitors. Farther out is Jupiter, a giant made of gas, with over 60 moons. Saturn, with its mighty ring system. And finally, Uranus and Neptune, the ice giants. Beyond them lie huge asteroid fields and some dwarf planets, like Pluto and Eris. All these heavenly bodies revolve around the Sun. It's the center of our solar system, and also its superpower.
I just want to go over several dwarf planets which people claim are Planet X or Nibiru or some kind of bringer of destruction. Let's try and defeat this bullshit fear. The dwarf planet Make, officially known as 136472 Make, was discovered on 31st of March 2005 and was announced as a dwarf planet on the 11th of June 2008. It's a trans-Neptunian object because it orbits the Sun after Neptune. It's called Make after the god of the ancient civilization that lived on Easter Island. It was nicknamed the Easter Bunny as it was discovered around Easter time. The International Astronomical Union said it wasn't a good name, so it was given the name Make. It's a rocky, icy planet, very far out, very cold, which poses no threat of any kind to the Earth or the inner solar system.
It's so far out. It takes 308 years to complete a single orbit of the Sun. Its orbit is fairly elliptical, which varies between 45.791 astronomical units and 53.74 astronomical units. Some fearmongers, as soon as a planet is discovered, or a dwarf planet, they try and say that that is proof for their paranoid, fearful theories. Obviously, they're mistaken. Ceres is the smallest dwarf planet in the solar system, and it's the only dwarf planet in the main asteroid belt. It was discovered on January the 1st, 1801. It's named after an ancient Roman goddess. The goddess Ceres. Was responsible for growing of plants, the harvest, and motherly love. In 2006, the International Astronomical Union decided to upgrade Ceres from an asteroid to a dwarf planet with a diameter of about 950 kilometers. Ceres is by far the largest and most massive object in the asteroid belt. Without any cause or consequence, there is no reason to assume or believe that Ceres poses any threat to the Earth. I have read what some conspiracy theorists have said on this subject. They have suggested it is a moon of Nibiru, or it's the remains of a planet which once was destroyed by Nibiru. No evidence or proof has ever been brought forward Ceres is not a Nibiru-like object or a danger to the Earth. The dwarf planet Eris is a trans-Neptunian object, bigger than Pluto. It's the largest dwarf planet known. At 2,400 kilometers in diameter, Eris orbits the Sun once every 557 years, and it has an elliptical, egg-shaped orbit, tilted at an angle of 44 degrees. It has a moon called Dysnomia. It was discovered on the 5th of January 2005. It was originally called Xena, after the main character of the television series Xena Warrior Princess. It was officially named Eris on September 13th, 2006. The name itself, Eris, is the Greek goddess of strife, discord, and rivalry. Under the specifications of what constitutes a planet, Eris, along with Pluto and the other dwarf planets, are recognized as being just that, dwarf planets. They are not recognized as being full planets, like with the larger bodies within the solar system. There has been a lot of fear-mongering about the possibility of Eris coming into the centre of the solar system, or by some quirk affecting the Earth. There is no proof of any kind that this will happen. It is merely wild speculation on the part of conspiracy theorists, and it serves no good purpose. It is completely unproven, and the facts, the genuine, solid facts, are easily attainable. The moon of Eris dysnomia was discovered in 2005. Its name is derived from the ancient Greek, meaning lawlessness. The name also means the daughter of the Greek goddess Eris. So giving it that name is quite fitting. The reason why I mention this particular moon is because people have claimed that this is in fact a UFO. Dysnomia is, according to some people, a UFO. Because it's not causing the wobble effect they would expect. And I haven't confirmed this information with any of the actual scientific institutions. They haven't talked to NASA or any of the great universities studying this particular object. They just simply said it must be a UFO, when clearly there is no evidence of that whatsoever. Perhaps the strangest dwarf planet out there is Homia. It only has 1/3 of the mass of Pluto, but it is shaped so strangely, it makes it unique as far as we know within the solar system. Its unusual shape is believed to be the result of a large impact in this distant past. It has two very small moons, Hyeka and Namaka. It's believed that these moons were originally part of the same planet, but due to the impact, it broke apart the planet as it was, making it as it is, a small, strangely shaped object with two very small moons. Some conspiracy theorists have already suggested that this planet is in fact the home world of the reptilians, or, as some other conspiracy theorists have suggested, it's a giant UFO. or it's Nibiru.